December 23rd, 9:50. Today I'm going to talk about concentrated poverty. You may not know who I am. I don't know who I am yet. Eventually you will find out though. My very first video, I'm sorry for this abrupt introduction, but today I'm going to be talking about concentrated poverty. You may not be able to see me. Let me go over to the light. I live in a moderately rich place. I mean, I guess you could say it's rich. That's my fingers for air quotes. I guess you could call it rich. I mean, median income is 120K thousand. But that's also not accounting for the exorbitantly rich. There's a building company. One of my friends, his dad is the CFO, which is basically the president of the company. You know, if you go about 10 miles that way, there's literal mansions, and I mean like 10 miles that way. Definitely not the richest, definitely not the poorest though. This house was built in the epicenter of the middle class. There's three people. There's three types of people. There's the oldest houses, which house the poor people. There's the middle class, and then there's the rich, or I guess higher class. Basically, this I guess you could call the middle classes. Except for this house, which is my house, and the house over there, which were built about 5 years ago. All these houses are probably built 50 to 60 years ago. I mean, people here are not poor. They can obviously walk into a Costco and buy something without using, I guess, food stamps, I think is what it's called. But I had a theory. Well, my mom had a theory, and I went with it. What if, instead of like how Chicago is, what if instead of putting everybody, all the poor people in one place where they become violent because they can't live, they do this and that, what if we spread it all out? What if you put some people in downtown Chicago, some people uptown, some people in Southside of Chicago, you know, spread it out. I'm gonna be using a lot of rap quotes because I personally like hip-hop, I guess. So, you know, B.O.B. said he fell off the radio radar. You may know him from songs like Nothing on You with Bruno Mars. He basically made Bruno Mars famous. B.O.B. said that he basically said along the lines of, we have poor people have enough to buy a Glock 40, which is a gun, to kill someone for Jordans. Like, how do you not have enough for Jordans but you have enough for a Glock 40? But the thing is about that is the fact that the people who kill for Jordans can probably barely eat. You know, they can probably barely afford to feed themselves. So when they can't even afford to feed themselves, they have to go somewhere. You know, they have to have some sort of status. So having Jordans is what makes you higher than most other people in the hood, or whatever you want to call it. A lot of people are going to say, oh, you're some rich kid in the middle of Wisconsin. You know, you live in a rich community, middle class, but you're in a rich home in the middle of a middle class community. But the thing is I get it. I live around people who use assistance. I know people who use assistance, stuff like that. Today I'm just basically just the concept of spreading out poor people. Basically where I live, people are coming out of Chicago. I was talking to a guy, and he basically said every street corner here, you got a credit union, you got jobs, now hiring. I mean, there's just so many opportunities here. This is like what America was built on. It was built on a dream of something better. So now all the people are flocking here. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying that this is the new dream. And now it's really surreal because I've been living here ever since I was born and raised here. Now I'm 14. I'm still being raised here. And basically, it's going to be really, really epic to see what happens to this place, because who knows, it might become the next Milwaukee. So many things could happen here. And to see it go from something like this right now, you got a couple of cars parked in the road. You got a couple of cars driving by. I mean, what's gonna happen? Will these all become apartment buildings? Will these be torn down and turned into homes just like this? So we can really try to keep poor people out of here. That's my main concern. I'm fascinated with urban planning. Will they just destroy all these buildings, maybe even this one, and turn them into high-class buildings? I mean, we're already seeing it. This place has torn down numerous homes and built basically mansions on them. I mean, will they all try to concentrate it to downtown? Will they all try to concentrate it to other suburbs? Like, what is going to happen? So, yeah, basically, that's my rant for today. Concentrating poor people. Concentrating the poor. I hope they don't do that. That's all.